It's in the middle of February. I can't believe I haven't planted anything yet, but I've been quite busy. I just bought a new house and also fixing up this one for sale. Ordered some stuff through the mail. You always have to start with fresh onion seeds. And this year I'm gonna be growing a lot of flowers, and this is one of them. So the reason I delayed is not just because it's been so busy, but I wasn't sure if I'm gonna be planting anything in this garden, or I'm gonna wait until I move and then think about planting later. But I really have to start, especially pepper seeds, because they take forever for the seedlings to grow. So I'm gonna start them here and move them there. That's how it worked out. The starting mix that came in blocks, and this makes a lot. I used this before. So the way I do this, I just take one of these blocks, this is 2 blocks, one of these blocks, put it in a container, pour some hot water, and you're gonna need a lot of hot water, more than you think you're gonna need. And let that reconstitute, and then we're gonna start planting. And I'm gonna do this on my dining room table because I am exhausted. And I don't want to be standing at my potting bench in the basement where it's cold and everything. But I'm gonna walk you through everything I do today. What am I planting? How am I planting it? Where I'm gonna have the seedlings growing. And we're gonna check on those every couple of weeks, so you'll have a progress report as well. So here we go. So I'm gonna be mixing in this bin, where I always do. I am boiling water on the stove because my water coming out of the faucet is not that hot. But I want this to be very hot. In case there are some eggs in here from some of the bugs that will get killed. Sort of sterilizing it. I'm gonna start out with just 6 quarts, I think. And then I'm gonna boil some more water because I think I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna wait until this cools off a little bit, and then in the meantime we can start figuring out what to plant. Here are my seeds, well, the smaller ones. I do have some beans and pumpkin and things like that in jars, but those don't need to be planted yet. So these are gonna be the peppers that I'm gonna have to work on. Any cold weather crops I'm gonna have to start today as well. So there's gonna be a lot of planting going on. I will definitely grow more of Napa cabbage. And these seeds are really old, but last year they did okay. I had a few plants, and I think I bought some fresh seeds as well. So I might just do both, just to make sure I have some kind of success. And then I have the early cabbage, so this will be good for sauerkraut or just freezing it. The Napa cabbage is for, you know what, kimchi. I'm gonna plant some lettuce, 2 kinds of lettuce. So my hope is that they don't really grow too fast, because I'm probably not gonna have the new garden ready for at least a month, even for cold weather crops like this. So what are we doing? March, maybe end of March, this will be ready. That would be perfect. Some chard. I probably start some kale. I'm thinking that I'm gonna have such a big garden that I'm gonna have enough to plant and grow to give away. So I'm planning on set up also maybe like a little farm stand and sell these things, organic, stuff, real cheap, just for the neighboring town. And I think that will be fun for not just for me, but everybody else, because everybody's wondering what's going to happen to that house, that old house that I just bought. So these are peppers that now I have to also start growing. Although the hot peppers do grow fast, but the sweet peppers take forever. I'm gonna just make a whole bunch of peppers. This I had one plant of, and it was huge with hundreds of these peppers coming out of just one plant. So I just need a couple of these maybe. Did I grow this last year? I'm not sure if I did, but I'm gonna have a huge garden, so why not? Giant Morconi. I want to grow some variety that normally people cannot buy in the grocery store, so they can come to my farm stand and get it real cheap. I think that will be fun. And these are some no-name peppers. And of course jalapeno peppers. I have to grow jalapenos. So my only limitation at this point, as far as what I'm starting today, is how much I can put out for my grow light and my heat pad, which is really just 3 trays of this size, I believe. And each of these trays will hold, let's see, I think 9 of these or 6 of these. It's been that long since I planted things. So yeah, this holds six packs, and I usually do each variety a 6-pack. So again, I can't go too crazy, but then I need to prioritize as well. So I have red peppers, yellow peppers, gypsy peppers, fried peppers. So I'm gonna eliminate some of these peppers because I cannot potentially have them all. Root vegetables. I'm gonna wait with the root vegetables, although I can start like beets and stuff, but I'm just gonna wait with those because they're gonna take up a lot of space, and some of these can be directly sown, like carrots. I'm gonna definitely have carrots. And the tomatoes, I think it's too early. I'm gonna grow tomatoes in March because they grow fast and again don't have the space and they get really big. As I said, I'm gonna be heavy on growing flowers because I have the space and I want the place to be pretty, and I want fresh cut flowers every day in my house. And that could be also something I can put out on the farm stand to sell. So I need to have flowers that are nice in a bouquet, right? I'm gonna grow some dahlia. Zinnia, of course, who doesn't grow zinnia? Larkspur, I wanna do a whole bunch. It's gonna be nice. Daisy, I think I hold on to this one because I think this will come out later. Sweet peas, definitely. They're beautiful, they smell good. And hollyhocks. And I feel like I need to buy more flowers, and I will. I have some here that, Morning Glory, that could be nice next to the garage, running up on a trellis. I'll direct sow those. Cosmos, yes, and more marigolds. Okay, we got plenty, I say plenty to plant today. So I'm gonna have to definitely prioritize. My first priority will be the onions. And then we get to the peppers, because they do need a long time to grow. And then we get to the cold crops, such as cabbage and so on. And then last will be the flowers. So the first thing I like to do is just fill in all these 6-packs very tightly. And then I wash my hands and I'll do the seeds. Just really pack it up because they're gonna be in this soil for a couple of months. So just like that, and I make some indentation where the seed's gonna go. Sometimes it's just time to throw these out. They will last a few years. I don't know what I'm going to use this here to label them, but I have these cocktail stirrers. I got this from the Middle East. And this might be good to use today. I'm gonna, I guess, break these. They're too tall. Let's see. Do they even break? Oh. All right, as I said, we're gonna start with the onions. So this has 200 seeds in it, and this is the Texas Grano. It's nice medium-sized yellow onion that I like to grow. And I'm gonna be putting them in multiples in each of these little cells. So 200 divided by 6. Can I put this into a 6-pack? I don't know. We'll see. They like to be grown together. And then we'll tease them out as they get transplanted to the earth. So yeah, I'm probably going to need 2 6-packs of these. We'll see. We'll get there. But essentially, I want to just plant all of it today. I can see them at least on the surface because they're black and big, crunchy. Okay, yeah, definitely I need a second tray, a second 6-pack for the onions because I still have some in this bag. Make sure you get all of it out of the little corners. There was at least one more in here, so you open it up and you might find another seed hiding in there. So let's just do that. And then for the labeling, I'm just improvising here. I'm gonna write Grano on this one. And then I'll tape it on here, kind of make a little flag out of it. And these little things are not going to be outside. It's just while I'm growing them, so I know which one is which. And what I'm doing is that I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to label only this, because then I know if it's not labeled, then go to the left. So these two are Grano. This next one is Red Creole. Obviously those are the purple red onions. And this also this has 300 seeds. Now usually the red onions don't germinate as well as the yellow ones, at least in my experience. So definitely we'll need 2 trays of this. And I'm gonna do these 2 here so I can keep them together. Now these are not done yet. I'm gonna cover these with a light dressing of the mix to cover them up and keep them nice and moist without over watering them, hopefully. Onions don't like to be waterlogged. So I only water them when they actually, I just lift it up and it's like, oh, this is very light. Then I know it's really dried out. Okay, so make sure we do have stuff in here still, so. Do I start a 3rd tray? Because this is 300, this was only 200, right? Was it? Yeah, this was 200, so this is 300. Definitely needs 3 trays, and I lost a seed here. Come on back. I never saved any onion seeds. I think I'm gonna have to start doing that. They're not cheap. All right, so now we have 3 of that. And still some seeds in here. So this is Creole. Ready? So now the green onions. So for the green onions, I don't plant them all at once because I can only eat so much green onions in a week. So I would do 1 tray today, and then once I planted these out, I'm going to do another tray. So I'm just going to keep replenishing it that way. So these are spring onions, green onions. And this doesn't say how many seeds. It's 200 milligrams. But yeah, so let's just do, I don't know, about half of this. And I have to buy more. They didn't give me a lot of seeds, did they? So this is spring onions. I really have to go to the dollar store and get some seeds there, or Walmart has those 50-cent seed packets. Those are perfect for this because then you just take a packet and, you know, it's cheap. Okay, so this is a keeper. Let's label this just green, no name green. I don't think it really matters a lot as to the green onions. They all seem to be the same, at least to me. So we already have a tray filled, right? And I'm gonna now have to cover these seeds so they don't dry out. So just ever so lightly, thin layer of mix will be spread over, and it's hard to do it when it's wet because it's kind of chunky, but these are big seeds, so you don't have to worry about if you make it too thick, they'll come up. It's better to have it covered than in thick layer than not covering it. If you don't cover it, it's not going to grow probably. You just spread it down, make sure you don't see any seeds poking. And since this is already nice and wet, I don't have to water this. and it's gonna go under the grow light as is. And once I have that set up, I'll show you. But for now, I have to keep planting. This is very therapeutic for me, especially because it's been on my mind forever. Like, what am I gonna do with my planting? Do I plant here? Do I plant there? I am planting there, but starting here. Okay. The good news also about this new house is that has a laundry room that has a side where it's all glass windows, and I can probably put some shelves to make it into a little nursery and a little greenhouse. And once it gets a little warmer, although it's heated, but it needs more sunlight, then I'm going to be able to put these there to continue to grow. So they don't have to be under the grow light that long. I'm kind of glad you're able to watch this video and kind of enjoy this process with me, because sometimes you really want to do gardening and you can't do it just yet, or you don't have the opportunity to do it where you are. I love to watch gardening videos wintertime because I can't really do anything in my garden. So especially now, because it's been so cold, unusually cold. Next, I said the next priority is the peppers, especially the sweet peppers. So I do like giant Marconi, although they don't fruit a lot per plant, but one fruit is big and it's kind of nice and tasty. So I'm gonna plant into each of these cells. I'm gonna put four seeds. And for this one, I'm gonna have just like 8 plants. It's really gonna be limited because of the space. And I'm not even sure I have that many seeds. I do have more seeds. But yeah, let's just do 3 or 4 per cell. And they don't all come out either, so we're not gonna have as many. So do I wanna do more? Just 2 cells, I think. I need to be very careful about what I plant. And here's the deal. If I have to buy seedlings from other people, I probably will. But I really like to grow my own. That's my preference. So this is Marconi. If nothing else, this will be enough for harvesting seeds for next year. Because I feel like this year I'm gonna have a big garden, but I do have a lot of acreage right now where I could be gardening. Obviously, it's a lot of work to bring that up to speed, because right now it's just grass. So anyway, if you tune in, you will see in March where I'm gonna be starting my garden, planning and starting my garden. Sweet banana. I kind of like to eat these, but these kind of peppers I think you can buy in the grocery store. But let's just do 4 cells of this, because these are the first ones that you can actually eat of the plants. They come out early. And I like to have constant freshness in my garden where I can harvest something every day and eat it or preserve it. So again, these don't all germinate. So this is banana. I went down to my basement and the potatoes are sprouting. Oh my, I gotta go and make space for my potatoes. They really want to go into ground soon. And they're in a brown paper bag, but I had some grow lights going for my sweet potato plants that I saved from last year and overwintered. So I think because of that, they're sprouting. Too much light. Okay. What kind of pepper we want next? We want definitely the Thai pepper. So this year I probably want to have 2 cells for this one, meaning 5 to 10 plants. Oh, I don't even have that many seeds. Did I not save any? This is a hybrid. Can I still save seeds from this? I'm gonna have to do that. Make a mental note. I may have done that, but I don't know. Anyway, 2 of these cells will do. I think I'm gonna leave a few in case I don't harvest my seeds. And next year I'm gonna be like, oh, I wish I had more of these. So this is called a Thai chili. Alright, and I don't know what seed is this. It's an escaped seed. So next gonna be, most of these gonna be my saved seeds. So this fried pepper, these are like really thin skinned, longish peppers that turn red. And they're nice and sweet, and from the name of it, it's good to do stir fries and things like that with that, or even stuffed peppers. I don't have much. What happened? Oh, there they are. Let's do 2 of these. Oops. 2 of these. So that's again gonna give me about 6 to 8 to 10 maybe plants. Okay, we'll keep some. And again, this year my goal is to replenish all my seeds because this is not 2 years old. And I need more seeds, and probably gonna sell some seeds. Why not? That could be fun, maybe. So this is the fry. I think there's some fun in sharing your harvest, no matter how you do it, whether you just give it away or let people, you know, pay a little money for it so they feel better about it as well. I like that feeling. Okay, definitely I'm gonna do jalapenos. And when I plant these, I'll plant them, because I want to save seeds, I'm gonna plant them like separate from other peppers so they don't crossbreed. Jalapenos are great. It can be frozen. You just core it and you leave it whole and freeze it, and then whenever you feel like having jalapeno poppers, you got them to fill. But salsa, yes, please. So that means you're gonna be seeing a lot of canning videos as well. Will I have time for canning? I better make time, because if I grow extra stuff, they need to be canned. Canned or frozen, or dehydrated. I like to switch it up so I have backups if something fails. Okay, jalapeno. All right, so the only thing I did extra amount is the banana. Everything is just 2 cells. So this one is the Cayenne Long Slim. And again, I don't remember last time I planted this, but for variety and color, and it's just, I like the different kinds. For the flower even, it's just beautiful. So we're gonna do cayenne peppers. And of course we can make cayenne ground pepper out of this. For now, I'm just gonna do a couple. I mean, how much hot pepper are you gonna need? Even in powder form. They just need a little bit each time, right? Cayenne. Okay, it's gonna be a long video, but if you're still here, I hope you're enjoying it because it's, as I said, it's very good for me. Pepperoncini. I like to can this, you know, pickle it. I don't know if I had any last year. I don't think it did well last year, but let's try some this year. Yeah, let's see what we're gonna get. Pepperoncini. I'm gonna need this video to figure out, if I lose these markers, figure out what's what. So it's a win-win. Also, this video can be good for your falling asleep because it's so boring. It's relaxing, isn't it? Okay, so I don't know about these long peppers. I think this is similar to the frying pepper. I don't know if I want to grow this because I really don't know what it is. So no. Red bell peppers, yes. So I'll do red peppers and yellow bell. Great for freezing, for whatever, if you do it in strips and or cubes. You can put it in all kind of stuff. I still have some in my freezer from last summer and I really enjoy it. Take a handful, throw it into stews, stir fries, even in soup. Okay, so this is the red bell. So what are you up to these days? What is your agenda during the dreary coldness? Last weekend I went to California, to Disneyland, and that was a whole lot of fun. Thank you, Mandy. And then I am planning maybe in the near future to go down to Florida, maybe, especially if I get sick of the cold, as I am sick of it. I like to go to Miami and just be lazy for 2-3 days. Try not to think about work, but with the work that I need to do on my house, on the new old house, I can't really take too much time off, and I don't want to spend too much money either on vacationing. Because I get a lot of expenses coming up, and stay tuned. You're gonna have to come back and see me working on my new old house. It's gonna be so pretty. This weekend, if I go out there, I will do a walkthrough, and I'm gonna share some of my plans with you and the upcoming projects, and you will be part of that. And then I have gypsy. So this gypsy is kind of a little chunky pepper, but it's similar to the frying pepper, except it's much shorter. So it's thin-skinned, shorter, It's great for snacking. I think this is the second generation of these seeds that I have grown. I probably should write that down, how many generations I've been saving this kind of seed, right? It's good to know, because after a while, I think if you grow it yourself, they kind of get used to your garden and they do better. Gypsy. Okay, so now the peppers are tucked in. We're making progress here, 8 o'clock in the evening on a Friday evening when you're just at home and working on your hobbies. Okay, we still have a whole tray that we can fill. That's gonna be for the flowers. So I am very confident I have enough space for my cabbages. And I really don't need a lot of cabbages, unless again I'm gonna sell it. But for my own purpose, to eat it, because I can plant these later. They don't take long to actually germinate and grow. So, and they're so tiny. These seeds are like little, I don't know what they look like. I'm gonna put that into just one cell because the most I'm gonna need is like a couple of heads. I mean, they're huge. So if I slice them up for my freezer, it's gonna fill up half of my freezer. And then if I wanna do sauerkraut, you know, in a 5-gallon bucket, I need maybe 2 heads. It fills it up. So that's that. This is just regular, I just call it cabbage, early cabbage. Traditional. Cabbage. I noticed I'm not putting dates in any of these because I'm just going to put it in my journal when I planted them and list them all out, and then I know when I did them and when I need to transplant and all that. Okay, Napa cabbage. I told you I'm going to do 2 kinds because this is an older package. This actually came in 2016. This is 10 years old. And guess what? We're gonna see if it grows. I will make sure I mark it as such. So this is the old Napa cabbage. Man, I have a lot of seeds. Look at that. I mean, hundreds, 200. It was a big package. So I'm gonna be generous because again, it's old. We wanna have at least a couple of them come out. So I'm gonna put the old one next to the regular cabbage. In just one cell again, because I'm gonna do another cell with the newer seed. And you see how I still wanna keep them. I hate to throw out things. That's borderline hoarding. No, it's just, if they're gonna grow, I'm gonna give them a chance. So this is Napa Old. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one specifically. See how well they do or they don't. I'm gonna give you an update like in a couple of weeks, maybe sooner. If they poke out, I'm gonna show you right away. Some of these will, well, not definitely not the peppers, but some will come real quick. So then I'll do the newer Napa cabbage, which is, I'm pretty sure I got this last year. It doesn't have a date on it. I hate when they do that. I'm gonna put on 2025. Is there anything in here? Oh yeah, just hiding. So again, I'm gonna just do one, and I make sure that they don't overlap because, you know, we don't want to cheat. The new one is in here. And make sure we just label it as Napa so we know it's the new one. Okay, it goes here. Now we're gonna do some lettuce. This is Simpson, black seeded Simpson. This is the one that you can harvest one leaf at a time and they keep coming back. Oh my god, this is so many. Wow. Okay, so how many of these I'm gonna need? Am I gonna sell these? I don't know. I think I'm gonna do plenty this year. I think I'm gonna sell them in like bags, you know, the greens. I'll do 3 sales. As I said, I can give away even the seedlings if I think it's too much. So this is Simpson. And I'm gonna put a 3 on it so I know it's 3 cells. Because they're like right here. And I'll just probably label this like in the middle of those 3 somehow. Like right here. Yep. Perfect. Okay, the other lettuce kind is this romaine type. I'm actually not a big fan of what I grow romaine because they tend to be so bitter. So I don't know what they do with the lettuce I buy like in the grocery store because I like those better. But anyway, I'm gonna grow some. Oh, do I have any? Come on, come on. And I'm just gonna do 1 cell of this because this is one of those things you have to harvest when it's all done, right? The whole head. So how many you can actually eat all at once? Okay, so 1 cell of romaine. All right. Here we go. Oops. Stuck to me. So this has like how many seeds? 4, 6, 8, 10-ish. Again, lettuce doesn't all germinate. Okay, I definitely like Swiss chard. They're so colorful, and once they get going, they grow like through the winter too. So it's like really useful to grow because you just tear off some leaves and then they keep growing. Let's see. I'm gonna do 2 cells, and that's gonna give me about what, 10-ish plant. Swiss chard. And again, this I had for a long time. 6 years old, 2020. Chard. So I have 2 of those, and then lastly in this particular tray we're gonna have some kale. Now the kale is also, it actually biennial, so once you plant it, just like parsley, it will be for the next year, and then you don't have to plant next year because it's still gonna be growing. It does get tall. So again, I'm only gonna do just 1 actually. I'm not a big fan of this, but I like it in other foods. I don't just prepare it as a side dish, but I mixed it in with other things. And if I decide to sell greens, that would be one of those things that I can sell in a mix or just alone. So now I still have a couple of cells left. I'm thinking spinach. Now, do I have spinach seeds? Because I don't remember seeing it. Oh yeah, I gotta plant leeks too. So if I don't have spinach, I will plant leeks. So I don't have spinach, that would have been nice. I may have to buy some, but I also would like some leeks. So for these last two on this tray, this will be leeks. Okay. Look at how static they are. They're jumping up on the side. Okay, so these are similar to onion seeds. It's the kale. I have to label the kale. Don't go anywhere. I need reminder. These are the leeks down here, and that's a kale. Here we go. We're up to speed now, and now we have to cover these all. Wait a minute. This is a gypsy. What's in here, guys? What did I put here? Anything? Well, I don't know what I put here. Not pepper seeds because I don't see any. I guess I left those open, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna just cover this. If anything comes out of those, they will be identified based on their leaves. Once you see true leaves coming out of these seedlings, you can identify them. And if not, then wait until they give you fruit. That's all I can tell you. I had one year where I had an outside greenhouse, one of these plastic framed little thing, and the wind blew it over. What a mess that was. So I didn't really panic. All my things came out, things got mixed. So I just sorted them out when they were big enough for me to sort them out. And of course I didn't know the varieties because until they fruited, but it turned out just fine. I still had plenty of vegetables. It was just kind of disappointing in a way. Now these little cabbages, with any tiny seeds, you kind of want to be very sparing, especially with lettuces. Those have pretty small seeds. And the chard has big flowers. Yes! I'm very excited about these snapdragons. So, we have 1,500 seeds. How dusty little things these can be. Wow. I'm gonna do one of that. Cosmos, I don't know. Sweet peas, I'm gonna have to save seeds. These are really nice flowers. 2 in a cell. So I'm not gonna do all of it, but enough for it to make a statement. All right, this one I need dry hands because it's gonna be smaller than these dust particles. Man, this video is gonna be long. I hope my voice is soothing enough to put you to sleep. Are you open yet? I really need to know what you look like. Yep, it's dust. It's purely dust. I mean, okay, so these are the type of things you really don't cover. I don't know how many I'm planting because I can't count them. So let's wait and see what comes out of it. Does it say how long it takes for this to need light surface? So need lights to germinate, so don't cover it at all. And you know how some people tell you to use these white, whatever they are, I forgot their name, to cover it so the light will go through it. I think that's a BS. Don't use anything, just leave it. I'm gonna come around and just spray them, like, as I see that it's kind of drying out, just to keep them nice, and it will germinate 10 to 14 days. I want to just kind of poke it in. Okay, that's planted already. Just remind me not to cover this. I'll put a paper here. Okay, let's do some larkspur. Those are nice too. And I filled this up right? Yeah, I sure did. Okay, so let's do a tray of this. All right, zinnia, dahlia. I'm gonna do a whole tray full of zinnias, and these are huge. Let's see, here's one. I'll just make a label for Cosmos. That reminds me of Seinfeld, Cosmo. Okay, Cosmos, I'm gonna just do 3. Dahlia, I want a whole tray of dahlia, and then hollyhocks, 3 cells here. Oh, I love these kind of seeds. You know, you can collect these dahlias. 2, 3 in a cell, maybe. So the big seeds first. Make sure they're all covered. I don't have any more excuses not to plant plenty of flowers, because I have an acre and 2/3 of an acre, and that's a lot of land to grow things on. I don't want lawn, a little lawn, not too much. You will see when you come out to my new house that I will have to cut down some trees, and a couple of them so huge and near the house, so I'm gonna have to hire that out. So if anybody has good ideas as to how to hire these cheap, in my experience, having hire a professional to cut down my trees is very expensive. The taller they get, the closer to the house. Sometimes you're gonna have to pay someone else to do things, even if you think you can do it, because it's safer, better for you, gives you more time to do stuff that you can actually enjoy doing. So it's one of those things where I would always spend money on is on the roof. I'm not going to go on the roof. And I don't want to cut down big trees that can either crush a house or a person. Okay, so let's go ahead and set these up. So here's a setup in the basement. Just to point out, these are the sweet potato vines that I overwintered. They're kind of struggling, but they're still alive. So my heating pad is only this big. So I am prioritizing the peppers and the flowers because they need heat. And then the onions just kind of sit here without the heating pad. And I have the light on for these mostly for now. But as they start poking out, I'm going to lower this light or raise these so they're going to be closer to the light. I did turn on the heat higher a little bit in the basement, so it's gonna be at least 65 degrees in here. So we'll check back in a week or two